Hello students, this is Professor Nilesh Kale from Gopte College of Commerce teaching you GST. So today we are going to start with unit number 3, that is exemption from GST. Let me first tell you that this syllabus was prepared based on the Model GST Act 2016, and therefore some terms like out of scope of suppliers, like categories of exemptions, you will not find in the new GST Act which is already rolled out in India, and therefore we have to relate these terms with the existing act and then learn. Okay, so we'll start with the syllabus. So this is your syllabus for unit number 3, meaning of exemptions, exempted suppliers, out of scope of suppliers, and then these three: unregistered business, deemed business enterprises, government department and other public sector bodies. And then categories of exemptions: merit based or concessional exemptions, technical exemptions, immovable properties and financial services. If they are exempt from GST, we are going to learn, right? So this is the syllabus. So the first question is meaning of exemption. You will obviously ask, what is the exemption? Tax exempt means it refers to income or transactions that are free from tax at the union, state or local level. Such transactions or such incomes which are free from tax, they are exempt. We call them as exempt. The tax exempt article or service is not a part of any tax calculations. If you are calculating your total taxable income, then exempted incomes should not be added. I repeat, if you are calculating taxable incomes, or if you are calculating taxable transactions, then such transactions which are exempt or such incomes which are exempt should not be added for the tax calculations, because they are exempt, because they are tax free. Such exempt supplies do not qualify for ITC. ITC is input tax credit. If you are supplying exempt supplies, then you also do not qualify for ITC. So whatever taxes you have already paid, you will not credit off, you will not get credit of such taxes. That is what is ITC, input tax credit. We will learn more about this later. Exempt supplies, as mentioned under section 11 of CGST Act or under section 6 of IGST Act. So such supplies which are mentioned in this section 11 of CGST Act or under the IGST Act section 6, all such are exempt supplies, right? Tax exempt may also refer to the status of a business or organization which has limits on the amount of income or gifts which are taxable. Tax exempt also refer to the status of business. See, there are such limits of transactions. There are such limits of transactions above which they become taxable, below which they become exempt. For example, you have purchased gifts worth rupees 1 lakh rupee. Now that becomes taxable because we have a limit of 5,000 rupees per year. You should not gift anybody whose total value, whose total worth is more than 5,000 rupees. If it is more than 5,000 rupees, then the whole amount will be taxable under the Income Tax Act 1961. Similarly, in GST, a reverse charge mechanism, if you are getting the service or if you are getting the supplies from an unregistered person, such supplies value should not be more than 5,000 rupees in a day. If it is more than 5,000 rupees, then the whole amount will become the taxable, and therefore within that 5,000 rupee we call it as exempt supply, right? This is another meaning of exemption. I am not telling you the act, I am not telling you the law. This is the meaning of exemption. These organizations include religious and charitable institutions. Such institutions, charitable institution or religious institutions which supply the exempt supplies or give such exempt services, they become the exempt supplies, right? So exempt supplies include these three things. This is very, very important. If you are making notes while watching this video, you better have to write this first point, which is very, very important, which is asked for always 2 marks. If you are asked what do you mean by exempt supplies under GST, you have to write these 3 things with this sentence. Exempt supplies include nil rated goods or services or both, non-taxable supplies under section 7 to B, and then exempted supplies under section 11 of CGST Act and section 6 of IGST Act, excluding the IGST, which is not included in this section, right? So this complete point, the first point, is very important. Please note it down. There can be exempt suppliers defined separately for separate persons, right? In the syllabus we have this exempted suppliers, right? This is the syllabus. Now look at this point. There can be exempt suppliers defined separately for separate persons. Under certain organizations or a group of public may be declared tax exempt by the government. Like, again, one more example, like any service which is given by MP, MLA or the representative of the public, then any such service, if they are providing, then that becomes an exempt service, or any service which is given by the government becomes the exempt supply, or any such supplies which are given by the agricultural person like farmers, that all becomes the exempt supplies. Also, there can be tax head exemptions. Exemptions for HRA, that is house rent allowances from salary, and certain capital gains, certain profits, certain casual incomes, agricultural incomes. You will learn all these in income tax subject. But let me tell you, for GST purpose or for understanding exemptions, HRA in salary is exempt. If you are calculating income from salary under section 16 of Income Tax Act 1961, then such exemptions, which are such incomes which are received as an allowance under this head called HRA, house rent allowance, then that becomes an exempt. Also, there are some certain exempted capital gains, and then there are certain profits, and then certain casual incomes. All such incomes like agricultural income, all such incomes will become exempt. One more example let me give you here. Certain casual income, like you are receiving dividend from Indian company, that becomes a casual income, and that is an exempt income, because companies have already paid taxes on your income. But whatever you are receiving as dividend from Indian company, that becomes casual income for you, which is exempt for you, which is tax free, right? So this is the meaning of exemption. I will tell you also one more very, very important point. Exemptions are given for a time period. Exemptions are given for a time period by notification by the government. So if the government says certain services or certain goods are not exempt from certain date onwards, then such goods or services or both will become taxable from the given date. I will give you one example. As of today, educational services, purely educational services are exempt from GST under section 11 of CGST Act. Now if government says from 2021 onwards, from let us say 1st January 2021 onwards, all the educational services will become taxable under GST. Now this is called as by notification. Government is saying that educational services becomes taxable, and therefore it is not exempt, that will become taxable, right? So that's all about exemptions. Section 2 of 47, section 2 subsection 47 of CGST Act defines exempt supply as supply of goods or services or both which are nil rate of tax, or which attracts nil rate of tax, or which is exempt as notified by the government, or also includes non-taxable supply, that is the goods not leviable to tax under this act. So all these three are your exempt supplies. The same point which you have written here, nil rated goods, non-taxable supply and exempted, the same things are given here, nil rated, non-taxable and exempted goods, right? So look at this example of exempt supply. There is a medical supplier, medicine supplier, let us say, and he is supplying medicines at the rate of 6% to the private hospital. And because private hospital is giving all the medical services to the consumer, and because medical service is an exempt supply, consumer does not pay any GST because it is exempt supply. So consumer does not pay any GST, and hospital cannot claim back the input tax credit because it is supplying the exempt supply. This is beautiful example. These images I have received from Google Images, and the sources are given in the description box. Look at this chart. GST supplies include these three things. Regular supplies, the supplies which attract the rate which is less than 0%, because 0% is nil rated supply, which is stated by notification. 0% is a rate of tax. I repeat, 0% rate of tax is a rate of tax. It does not mean exempt. They are called as nil rated supplies. But zero rated supplies are different. Zero rated supplies are defined under the GST, saying that the exports are called as zero rated supply. Supplies to SEZ unit or SEZ developer is a zero rated supply. Over, this is the definition of zero rated supply. This is not equal to nil rated supplies. If you are getting confused, you need not panic. The next video to this video will be the difference between exempt supply, nil rated supply and zero rated supply. Please watch that video. Now let us understand what are non-taxable supplies. The supplies outside the purview of GST will be called as non-taxable supply. Example, the petroleum or the alcohol, which are, alcohol is kept outside by constitution itself, but petroleum is kept outside of the GST Act. It is excluded by Act only, right? With one notification, the petroleum products or all the petroleum products can be included in the GST, but to bring alcohol in the GST, you need to amend the constitution itself.